allegory can be defined as a story, poem, or picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, typically a moral or political one. This will be important later, trust me. On the 26th of October 2018, Rockstar Games claimed creators of the British franchise Grand Theft Auto
my N-word!
released the long-awaited sequel to the highly regarded 2008 cowboy action game Red Dead Redemption.
My name is John Mustard!
You eat babies!
This game was called Red Dead Redemption 2. The game immediately smashed records, having the largest opening weekend in entertainment history, raking in $725 million in its first 3 days, and making Rockstar Games very rich. The game was equally catapulted to the top of best video games of all time lists for its compelling story and almost neurotic levels of attention to detail in service of immersion.
Not only are the testicles on the horses animated, because of course Rockstar has spared no expense in their quest to make ridiculous and grandiose, highly detailed open world games, they're dynamic. They react to the weather system, so if you take your horse up in the mountains and it gets chilly, they're gonna shrivel up.
A mandatory mention of horse testicles. The game follows the charismatic and bumbling drunken fool Arthur Morgan.
Will you shut the hell up?
And his gang, the Van der Linde gang.
One more big score, we got enough money to leave.
As they're chased across the rapidly receding Wild West by rival gangs, authorities, and the greed of American capitalism. The Van der Linde gang stand initially as a paragon of virtue in their America, acting as Robin Hood-like figures trying to fight for
Liberty and the pursuit of happiness!
However, industrialization and the encroachment of modern civilization slowly ensures their extinction and the quiet end to their way of life.
We're more ghosts than people.
Much like Rockstar's previous game, a small indie project called GTA 5,
I came all the way from Mars to vote for the Vulture.
Red Dead Redemption was announced to have an online component, releasing in beta a few months after the full game's launch, giving players time to savour and enjoy the main story while maintaining hype for a world of Wild West possibilities. The aforementioned care put into the world of Red Dead Redemption 2, 8 years worth of cool locations, characters and horse testicles would be ripe for an open world multiplayer experience, much like the greatly successful GTA Online. However, there was to be trouble in paradise. The Red Dead Online beta launched to some confusion but general praise from the community. Despite a general lack in content, people relished in the opportunity to lasso their friends and dangle them off bridges or eviscerate innocent bystanders with fireballs. However, it began to become evident throughout late 2018 just how little content there really was in the game. It wasn't just a poorly planned, tacked-on multiplayer copy-paste of the campaign. Entire features have been excised from the beautifully crafted story mode for no apparent reason. Beloved mini-games like Blackjack, Dominoes, Five-Finger Fillet, cutting Kieran's balls off,
Don't worry, you're only balls, boy!
and Poker were all just mysteriously absent, with boring as sin PvP game modes in their place. The PvP game modes became a particular point of contention later on in the game's life as, let's be honest, the average Red Dead Redemption fan wants to rob a train and watch all their friends die in the process, leading them to a mania-driven fall off the deep end culminating in their ultimate villainization, not to wear a fucking orange or purple ugly bowler hat and shoot dynamite arrows at random nobodies with a notably poor movement and gunplay mechanics. The game mechanics were fundamentally designed for a slow cinematic experience with long animations and Arthur's 50-meter turning circle. These do not aid Red Dead Gears of War 2. Leave that to Fistful of Frags.
Cowboy! Cowboy!
One significant piece of praise that I genuinely can't tarnish is the online story. The story to the online game component of the story game that's online. You're introduced to Red Dead Online by 𝗲𝗵𝗆, a nonchalant, chill guy who's also a bit of a badass Sigma
Good
type,
day, gentlemen.
who wants nothing more than to serve his mistress.
My mistress asked me to remind you of why you have your freedom.
Bit kinky, but whatever. He frees your character from a prison transfer and declares that you've been wrongly convicted of the murder of the husband of 𝗧𝗍𝗆, for which you've been framed by his former business partners. 𝗲𝗵𝗆 and the clerk free you on the condition that you help 𝗲𝗵𝗆 track down her husband's 4 killers, via which you will encounter many other side characters to build your character's prowess. Marshall Davies if you take the good honor path,
I just do this.
and Samson Finch if you take the bad honor path. And yes, this story has 2 branching paths you can take, with entirely unique missions to each branch. Well done, Rockstar. It's not like you're the largest video game company ever. I know that's actually Sony. So, is the online story incredible? No. But is it sufficient in engaging you, providing you a believable backstory by which your character can be both kind, gentle, hippie, or a murderous bank-robbing bounty hunter? Yeah. The initial launch of the beta ended with the killing of Teddy Brown, the first of the 4 conspirators responsible for the murder of Jessica Leclerc's husband, and it's actually quite a good final mission. Assaulting Fort Mercer, later Bill Williamson's hideout in Red Dead 1, with a massive Hotchkiss cannon, and tag-teaming Brown in his Ned Kelly Iron Man 1 armor.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps!
Did a good job of wrapping up the story to that point, while still leaving room for its planned expansion with future title updates. I'm sure nothing about this can go wrong.
Wicked! This is Pawn Stars.
After an insanely quiet 7 months of delivering posts for pennies on the dime to try and pay for your $1,000 Mauser pistol,
Can we talk about like the political and economic state of the world right now?
the community was shocked with the sudden release of Red Dead Online, now out of beta in May of 2019. This update was small, but did succeed in bringing the smaller changes players had been dying for.
Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on!
A couple of new revolvers were added, player icons went from gay pink to Sigma blue, and, most revolutionary, poker. And ponchos.
Nice.
Shame I can only afford them with gold bars, the game's premium currency that is conveniently available through microtransaction purchases. I sure am glad they won't become a nearly essential component of the game's development later on. But that was about it, until later that year in September, when the first full title update dropped. Frontier Pursuits. Now the game is actually a functioning game. Boring old animations made for a TB-ridden husk of a man.
It's making me cringe, Gus!
Now we have fast animations for grinding. Just look at how you skin the rabbits. Movement, weapon swapping, horse mounting, and basically every simple in-game action has been accelerated to the point of it nearly feeling like an entirely different game. This took away from some of the game's immersive qualities, but who cares? I can gunspin now! This update is beloved, not for its slight improvements in animations, but primarily for the inclusion of the roles system, basically the Red Dead equivalent of buying a Doomsday bunker in GTA Online. Roles are professions in name, but effectively unlocks in nature. For the low price of 15 gold bars? Might as well put it in my will for the next generation to carry out, considering how long that'll take. Spend 3 hours delivering fucking posts for 11 nuggets. How am I going to get 15 bars? Anyway, for 15 gold bars, you can purchase a role, there being 3 to choose from. The trader role allows you to set up shop in your in-game camp with your trusty sidekick 𝗧𝗿𝗄𝗃
Trading Company.
for the purpose of selling pelts. You collect pelts by hunting, give them to 𝗃𝗄𝗃 for processing, and deliver bulk orders by wagon. This is effectively a pay-to-win hunting buff. Butchers already exist.
I am the Bay Harbor Butcher.
If you want me to hunt more, make them give me more than $4 for an entire herd of bison I just slaughtered outside Blackwater. The trader does come with some benefits, notably the unlockable hunting wagon, which provides the ability to carry more than one carcass at any given time. But that's about it. The next role is the collector.
Pawn Stars.
The most boring, but my god, the most profitable. It's simple. Bring up the 𝗁𝗏𝗃 map on Google, go to every icon shown, dig up some coins,
Every time you get it right, you get £1.
and sell them some hippie for
$1 million.
rinse and repeat every day until you have enough money to finally make it to Tahiti. Collector's piss boring, I'm already getting tired of talking about it, so let's just move on to the best role. The Bounty Hunter rocks. It seems straightforward, but has a surprising amount of depth. Once you've purchased your Bounty Hunter license, why is this England?
See that new glowing pass?
You'll be able to visit any major town and acquire a mission from the bounty board. The bounty board will randomly generate a mission and difficulty, which you can select to carry out. These can range from simply trotting over to some cabin and kidnapping some poor old man,
I'm being kidnapped!
All good here?
to riding out with your entire posse across the plains of New Austin, all tracking different targets. One holed up in a mine guarded by hundreds of goons, another patrolling a moving train. Really riveting stuff. And we're not even done there, because after the fact, Rockstar would add infamous bounties. These are high-level, fully fleshed out, semi-story missions, with unique bounties offering huge payouts. These are iconic, from the Wolfman of Amberino, the Italian bloke with the sniper,
To fight for them, but now it is turned the other way.
and the bounty hunter gives you the ability to gunspin. What's not to love? It's also the only role that pays you with gold,
Where in the world did you get this?
meaning the best strategy is to buy this first, and use it to pay for your other 2 roles. Besides the stupid battle pass they added, which is totally pointless, That was all the important content added. It was overall a
great success.
However, it was underpinned by one big flaw. What the fuck am I going to spend the money on? I mean, the cosmetics are cool. If you happen to be level 99 and can finally unlock the Bison Duster coat. Besides that, the best gun in the game at this point for both hunting and PvP was the Varmint rifle, because of its insta-kill headshot, coupled with insane fire rate, accuracy and cheap ammo. Not to mention the rifle itself was $72. This left players with a severe money surplus.
I'm in the Empire business.
And leaving the incentive to grind more with flashy hats and infinite dynamite arrows instead of working towards something actually beneficial, like an apartment or a useful vehicle in GTA Online.
Bodacious subwoofers, yo!
However, these issues were small for now, and didn't take away from the great momentum Rockstar seemed to be running with, clearly still in force with the next update. Moonshiners was largely another home run for Rockstar, much in the vein of Frontier Pursuits. Releasing just 2 months after the aforementioned update, it brought a whole new role with an entire side story.
You must be Crip's friend. I'll try not to hold that against you.
The Moonshiner role was available for 25 gold bars. Yeah, 25 whole gold bars, only after reaching rank 5 of the trader role already. So you actually have to spend 40 gold bars to even unlock the role. However, I'd argue that this is one of the few times in the game, actually scratched out the only time in the game, when it's worth it. Because my god, is the Moonshiner good.
I am not fucking drunk.
Can you tell the time?
I am not fucking drunk.
You unlock a whole shack to call your own, decked out with a store for buying bottles, as well as a basement bar that you can upgrade and furnish to your heart's content. You can put up new wallpaper, unlock unique paintings, you can change the quality of the drinks you serve, you can hire a whole band who'll play music for you, and they play Christmas music during Christmas. You can also get blackout drunk, assault your friends, and then take over the instruments from the band members and flourish on the piano while trying not to fall off the stool. This is before we even talk about the Moonshiner story. The Moonshiner story is short but sweet. You become involved with 𝗬𝗍𝗍𝗍, a former moonshiner and friend of Crips's, presumed dead by the revenue agents who previously hunted her down. Join her wacky cast of Len,
Permission to come aboard.
Marcel,
Gentlemen,
and whoever your stupid character is.
The walkers are...
That's a walker. Hell, you killed her.
As you defeat Maggie's rival Shiners and take down the wicked revenue agent 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏. For as short as it is, this story is so good. You have a drive-by on a boat, for fuck's sake, what's not to love? 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 is also a compelling antagonist, more so even than the antagonist we're supposed to care about who killed Jessica Leclerc's husband. Yeah, remember her? We'll get back to that. 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 better encompasses the Red Dead franchise's themes of industrialization and the decline of the Old West than anyone else. Traveling primarily by train and shouting a lot about death and taxes.
This is Agent 𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗏 of the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Lemuel Fack, you are under arrest for the manufacture and distribution of an illegal substance, escaping state custody, running bail, and tax evasion. And today, we will bring the fullest force of the law down upon you.
He isn't any more than two-dimensional, but he isn't meant to be. And then you kill him, so that's nice. No, that's a spoiler, but you're not going to play Red Dead Online in this day and age, are you? However, all was not dandy in the Old West. Around the time of the Moonshiners update, the game just broke. Like, straight up broken. Animals didn't spawn. This was a big deal, as an entire role, the trader, depended on animals spawning for it to work. This meant that the only profitable role that didn't have you gouging your own eyes out with the fucking Pennington field shovel was now totally inaccessible. And what did Rockstar do to address this issue? Nothing. Not even a word. The community understandably got a bit upset and wanted anything, even a simple newswire post about what Rockstar was doing, but just silence in return. This would, unfortunately, become a running theme for the rest of Red Dead Online's future. But hey, Jessica Leclerc and her story is back. That'll be exciting. I wonder where that will go next.
You god-awful swine!
What? After a few extra high and low honor branching missions, which are admittedly some of the best ones, saving Marshall Davies from hanging and actually robbing a bank, the one thing every player has wanted for years at this point, Jessica Leclerc just kills the baddies. Oh, but what about the other two guys that we need to hunt down? There's like 4 conspirators, right?
Drive on, Mr. Hawley.
Where are you going? The people who killed your husband are still out there.
There's Grace Lansing, but she will have to wait. Their little plot is over. and my husband has been avenged.
What do you mean? You're avenging it for
friends,
Phil?
my
There's
true
still people out
friends.
there. They're still loose. They're still out
you
there. People don't talk about this for some reason, but it's one of my personal pet peeves with Red Dead Online and Rockstar's treatment, and is a bit of a microcosm for the rest of the game's development. It goes a bit like this. Develop a really cool and unique feature, implemented well with a good foundation but just lacking development. Make a half-hearted follow-up in the next update. Then, cease development of the feature. This update was followed by praise but also protest. Players upset with Rockstar's treatment of a supposedly live service game resulted in the clown movement, where everyone dressed up as clowns to try and prompt Rockstar to respond. When Rockstar eventually did, it was not what anyone was expecting. By the way, if you watched this far, please subscribe, because I need more subscribers. But I'll make more videos like this, so don't worry about that. What the fuck is a naturalist? So Rockstar's response to people wanting more content and fixing the animals to make hunting viable again was to release a new role that disincentivized hunting.
Eat your vegetables!
What? The Naturalist update was rather strange as it was largely a step back from the Moonshiner. No unique story, no viable property, hardly any new weapons, except for the elephant rifle, my beloved. And for what? The update has 2 new vendors, Harriet, the Woodstock-hippie,
Another reason to be vegan.
and Gus, the most based NPC in the entire game.
How do you sleep at night?
On the tiger bedspread, my dear.
Harriet tasks you with sedating animals and collecting samples to give to her for science or something. While Gus gives you a big-ass gun and tells you to blow rare animals to smithereens. Albino alligator? More like red mist.
How many have you out there killing for you now?
Not nearly enough, I'm afraid.
This update did add legendary animals to online, but instead of in story mode, where you take a somber ride up to the animal's location and stalk through the brush for a chance of finding it, these legendary animals are accessed by pressing a menu button and teleporting to a private instance where you either kill it or you fail. They're effectively infamous bounties, but just reskinned with animals, and worse. Needless to say, people were a bit disappointed with this update, even with the slurry and new hats. Side note, I swear Gus is the most Team Fortress coded character in the game. He's eccentric, egomaniacal, and is obsessed with murder in service of hats.
Saxton Hay!
Did Valve write this guy or what? Players didn't want to collect squirrel droppings to take some hippie. It's a Wild West game. People wanted to rob banks, take hostages, burn down towns, rustle livestock, and most of all, have fun player interactions. The game is multiplayer after all. But what did Rockstar have to say? More bounty hunter unlocks, so enjoy that. A whole update wasted on expanding the bounty hunter role, a role that already exists. At this point, major discontent was sown in the community. Many people, including myself, began to lose interest and stop playing as it became clear Rockstar weren't going to deliver on any of the features they promised. I mean, look at the introductory video. The video that plays at the start of every Red Dead Online character's save, compared to the gameplay at the time of these updates. Rockstar released one new update in vain, Blood Money.
They not like Dutch. They not like Dutch. They not like Dutch.
This update seems cool on paper, but is by far the worst in practice. Rockstar advertised it as finally delivering on robberies, a feature still absent from the game, despite being advertised 2 years prior. However, the update was basically reskinned stranger missions with Willy Wonka's golden tickets hidden around the map. Find 25 tickets, you're off to the chocolate factory.
Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello.
Or in this case, another boring mission where you have to steal an emerald you don't even possess in free roam. Red Dead Online was dead in all but name. Actually, it was dead in name as well. A game with so much potential, a spin-off of the 6th highest grossing game of all time, a setting adored by people of all generations. How did Rockstar fuck it up? I remember endless online posts and discussions with my friends about potential new roles, new missions, what properties we wanted if they became viable. We made stories about our characters. There were codes of conduct in the community, lanterns outstretched for a sign of peace. But now, this empty husk of a game is patrolled by nothing but griefers, those whose delusion has driven them to insanity. The sunk cost fallacy keeps them playing, but their disappointment only manifests now as anger, rage, directed towards any new players trying to make a start in the game. Rockstar facilitated this environment. It forced out those old passionate players for its own greed. Pay-to-win dynamite spammers were far more profitable, so the developers threw away the old community in search of their golden goose. The old players became ghosts.
We're more ghosts than people.
Oh my god, that's where the reference comes from. But what if there was another reality? A DCEU world where none of that ever happened, and Red Dead Online actually got competent, community-focused development. FiveM needs little introduction.
The runs before pre-command and basically so.
Step out of the vehicle for me, alright?
You want to go to green grass and handle this like men?
Okay.
Do you understand how unrealistic and shitty RP that is?
I thought it was pretty.
I told you that before! You can't even do that!
I wanted to make out.
You got me wanting to do more than make out. What they gonna do, send me to horny jail?
Yes.
That's your job.
GTA RP is widely regarded as a gooner's paradise. It exists only for trolling or for mentally ill retards to spaff their royal-rich parents' money on buyable cock-ring item and kiddie-fiddler Discord ranks.
Because you said that's what the mask is! I think you're
However, fewer people know about RedM, GTA RP's wilder and wester cousin. To tell you it's less cringe than GTA RP would be a lie.
You know you're around women, you shouldn't be naked.
What did you say to me?
You're around women, you shouldn't be naked.
You'll find all the same freaks here as you will there.
Creature beside me. What's your name, brother?
Uncle, I hope to see you in Valentine. I'll give you a special surprise behind the bar.
However, RedM carries some more charm and tact than GTA, which is definitely worth analysing, particularly when talking about the community of Red Dead Online. The worst of RedM is exactly what you'd expect. Overweight greaseballs who take themselves too seriously complain about NLR and RDM like it's a 2014 Gmod server. However, Rockstar's partnership with the CFXE team, the developers of both FiveM and RedM, has allowed some unforeseen circumstances befalling the humble game. As some RP servers grew, they took on development teams. A lot of their growth came at the same time and as a cause of the decline of Red Dead Online itself, and as such, many players were looking for a similar experience but with expanded features. As such, these growing servers decided to slide right into that niche, creating what are basically Red Dead Online alternatives. These servers range from casual ones like 𝗬𝗂𝗃𝗃𝗃, which sadly shut down during the writing of this video, to whitelisted and serious servers like WildRP, which is so well developed it has its own dedicated launcher and title updates.
This is life, death, and luxury.
How'd you do this? Are these servers for everyone? Definitely not. Even the casual ones require much more investment than even the sweatiest Red Dead Online session. Your character needs lore, you need to act accordingly to the time period. You can't randomly dynamite civilians. But they represent a potential future for Red Dead Online, and the few of its community who still hold on to the idea of what the game could have been. These servers are features where you can, if rich enough, purchase a rudimentary 1910s car to drive around the map, purchase a boat ticket to Guwpah where you can build a sugar plantation, become a professional gambler on board the story's iconic casino boat, build custom interiors to buildings allowing you to set up shop in any building in the game, rob banks, start a ranch with full livestock and crop farming features, and even map expansions adding all of Mexico into the game, fully explorable and with shops and points of interest and everything. Truly, the possibilities are limitless now that Rockstar has opened up its code to the developers. It's just a shame that some of the servers take themselves a bit too seriously.
Drama going on, dude. Oh my god!
It's a game, guys, get over yourself. All it takes is a solid development team with some community funding to build a server like this with casual elements and grindable professions, and I'd guarantee a large chunk of Red Dead Online's players would join. And if not, well, there are plenty of servers with usable tanks and spaceships. So just remember, if you're a dejected Red Dead fan longing for more content and another chance to dive into the world of the Wild West, why not give RedM a shot? And if you're a talented RedM developer, call me, maybe? I'll buy you shark cards.